But those large donations aren't the only thing keeping schools running.
This idea that university trustees and university administrators are going to say, oh my God, I'm going to change my strategic vision because I'm worried about a $25 million gift when you have $50 billion in the bank, it's ludicrous.
To explain how colleges stay afloat, we asked former university president Morton Schapiro to break down the finances of 3 schools with different revenue sources and what changes mean for the future of higher ed.
Having a large endowment really helps, and I've been really fortunate to be president of 2 institutions with very large endowments.
Endowments are big funds typically collected through donations and invested.
You only take enough of it so that you can support what the donor wants, but you leave it to be invested. So the endowment is an investment in the future.
In 2023, Northwestern took about $674 million from its endowment, or about 5%, which is the standard amount schools take from their endowments every year.
There's nothing magical about the 5%. If you go much above that, you're probably going to erode the real value of the endowment. If you go much below it, then it's unfair to the current generation of faculty, students, and staff. When things are really bad, I think you should take a higher percentage.
That standard 5% of Northwestern's endowment made up more than a fifth of the school's operating revenue in 2023.
When you have the kind of wealth that Northwestern and its peers have, that gives you a lot of flexibility.
Schools with large endowments depend less on other slices of the revenue pie, like tuition or private gifts.
You can support study abroad activities, and you can support all kinds of internships. Endowment per student speaks powerfully to what the life experience is going to be once you're on campus.
Northwestern's has grown more than 6 times since 2001.
The endowment grows because of equity markets, stocks, and also private equity investments. And the returns have been spectacular.
But a lot of that wealth is concentrated in just a few schools in the U.S.
If you don't have a large endowment, you're going to be much more conscious about attracting students, in many cases undergrads, who can pay the sticker price. Private colleges, they are not getting state support, so where are they getting their money? The rest is mainly tuition.
Like at Hamilton College in upstate New York, where tuition made up almost 60% of operating revenues in 2023.
When you talk about being tuition dependent, it's always said in a negative way. Is there anything positive? Well, I think you're focused more on your undergraduate experience.
Smaller private schools aren't the only ones increasingly dependent on their students to pay the bills.
State operating subsidies or state appropriations to publics has really plummeted as a share of their operating budgets. So that's really been devastating.
The University of California system, which consists of 10 schools throughout the state, got more than $4 billion of state funding in 2023. In 2001, state funding made up nearly 20% of revenues in the University of California system. By 2023, it was less than 10%.
The federal government started financing the college system when Lyndon Johnson signed the Higher Education Act of 1965.
If we reject learning, we render ourselves dead to the past and lost to the future.
Since then, generations of leaders have approved changes to the act to influence how money flows into the college system.
When Congress created this program under the Higher Education Act, it gave schools an incentive to raise their prices. Because think about it, each student now has a voucher to pay for college. So this became a really big way for schools to make money through student loans. And so it gave kind of this perverse incentive for schools to raise their costs. Instead of competing on price, a lot of schools actually learned they could actually charge more, not less, if they could convince their students that they were prestigious.